Hello, good morning, year 13 BTEC student. Continue from part 1 link. I was just finishing from here yesterday. Right, okay. Web authoring tools. Let's go back my PowerPoint first. Right, we were just here. Talking about web authoring tools, which is website editing software. Now let's go back here. Right, you can type or search yourself in Google Chrome, find the online some web authoring tools that are licensed, that are not open software. They are not free to download. You have to pay for it. And some of these web editing software we probably haven't heard of. But however, the software developer or website designer, they use them to design and create some professional website for the commercial company. Okay. Oh, I heard of Wix. I think this one is free. Uh, free. Oh, they have free account and Squarespace, no free account. This one site. This is it looks like Google site. WordPress is free. Uh, Okay, no free web. Weebly, that's free. Okay, so these are some of the web authoring tools that are available. Some are free, some are not free. So you can give some example of them. Okay, now let's go back to that. So explain what is web authoring tools. Give some examples. Yep. And describe the features. Now, this is very important. Describe the features available in a web authoring tool. Okay, let's go back to here. Now, the features, the link, the website link here, teacherict.com will take you to here. Now, these are the features that are available in most web authoring tools. One of the features is a web authoring tool that gives you a WYSIWYG interface. Yeah, WYSIWYG is called WYSIWYG. What it means is what you see is what you got. Can you see? uh WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you got. So look at um let's look at Dreamweaver. Here I have Dreamweaver software opened up. Okay, this is my partially developed uh, Dreamweaver homepage here, and I preview it in browser. Yep, sail away, practice tasks, headings. Now I just edit it. I just change it to Root Tools ePortfolio. Okay. Now this is my website in editing mode, because in this editing mode it allows me to edit it. But I want to preview my website in Chrome. Preview in Chrome. Save changes. Yes. And as you can see, now that was before, but after I edited it and then saved it, so now the saved updated version of my website is this. Yep. So you will notice, let's see, my website in editing mode, it looks exactly or maybe almost exactly the same as the website that is preview. And in fact, when if I run my website live, my live website will look exactly the same with my website in editing mode. This is what we call WYSIWYG user interface. Okay, WYSIWYG user interface. The web authoring tool give you a what you see is what you got user interface. As you see, what you see in the editing mode in Dreamweaver is what you got in the preview or live website. So this is what we call WYSIWYG user interface. Now, if you look at let me press code here. If you look at code here, if I would create this website using Notepad and typed in all the HTML code. Now this is not WYSIWYG user interface because all you can see is HTML languages. You can't see any user interface. You can't see any images or colors or video or any listen to any sound file at all. So this is not a WYSIWYG user interface. So if you would have used Notepad to develop these web pages using HTML code, then you are not using WYSIWYG user interface. But if you are using web authoring tool, let's click back to the design view. Now this is WYSIWYG user interface. Most web authoring tool provide this WYSIWYG user interface so that it is easier for you to create your website. And the web authoring tool also create templates. They have lots of templates available. Let's look at Dreamweaver. Okay, let me go to File New. I want to create a new web page. Let's see what happens. File New. Right. Okay. Yeah, that page form template. This is my template. I created a template, but there's blank template, page from sample. Okay. Now these are blank template with columns and rows done for you. Page from samples. Yeah. Can you see you can also have um web pages that have CSS already set it up for you, defined it for you. Okay, so that's Dreamweaver templates that are available. Let me cancel it. Now, if I go to, let's say, if I go to if I go to Google Chrome, this is okay. This is my Gmail account, and if I use Google Site, this is Google Site. If I click on it, it will allow me to make a website. So Google Site is a web authoring tools as well. Although it's not very advanced, but it's good enough. Now, I have created eSafety website. Let me click on it. Well, that's my eSafety website. Can you see? I can. This web
Sexual
authoring
abuse when
tool
you're being
Google Site
touched in a way you don't like.
allows me to insert images, and then I can also link a YouTube video here. Okay, so this is my eSafety website, and I want to create a new site recommended classic site. Let's see new site. Let's see what can I get when I click there. Let's see what it is. Create a new website. Now is opening a new page. Okay, and untitled site. Now here, unsure where to begin your track. There you go. It has it has a template gallery for me. If I want to use a template gallery, okay. Let's see if classic sites. Right. Oh, right. This is a blank time. Okay. Browse the gallery for more. Name my site. Okay. Maybe another internet safety. Internet. Um. Right. Let's continue. Here. My Google site. my internet safety website. Instead of use a blank template, now I start browsing gallery. Browse the template gallery, select a site. Okay, well there you go, loading. Can you see all these wonderful templates, activities and events, schools and education, personal and family? Can you see you have all these wonderful templates that you can choose from? So this is one of the features of web authoring tools, having templates for you to choose. Let's pick one and then select. If you clicked on it, and that will appear on your website. But we are not going to build a website here, so I just do it and show it to you. Okay, let's go back mm, to my website. Sorry, it's here. Okay, WYSIWYG. Okay, templates here. And another thing is wizard. The common features of most web authoring tools is having wizards. Wizards is something that is a tool that um, can perform a task for you. Is most likely is a very complex task, but it does it behind the scene for you so that this complex task will become will looks like a very easy task to do. Okay, so this is wizard. And multimedia, all web authoring tools allows you to insert text, images, animation, video, and sound file. As you can see from Dreamweaver here. Oops, my Dreamweaver's gone. I have to go back to it, type in my password. Now, that's a Dreamweaver. We are back. Insert. Can you see? You can insert table, you can insert image, you can insert media. This is a video. There's a shockwave uh, insert plugin. And oh, can you see here? You can build a form that allows user to put in personal details, to collect information, form, text field, button, checkbox, radio button, and here here is it, multimedia. Okay, and now can you see form? The web authoring tools allow you to create forms and hyperlink and hotspot. Yes, you back to Dreamweaver, it allows you to insert hyperlink to link up your web pages and insert email links as well. And hotspot is here. Where is hotspot? Um I know that hotspots is where you have to um surround surround an object with surround an object. Uh, After you surround an object, then you can type in your hotspots somewhere here. So Dreamweaver being a web authoring tool allows you to do that. Now Site Manager, you should know that from your experience in Unit 28 create a website. Dreamweaver allows you to define your sites and manage your sites, where you can point all the many different web pages onto one site only, onto OneDrive. Here you can see this is your site manager on the bottom right of of the Dreamweaver's user interface. Okay, so now so you can describe it. The Dream all these website web authoring tools features. Now the last thing software is database system. Now the database system we're talking about is not like a Microsoft Access installed on your local home computer, but it's a server. Database server is a remote server sitting somewhere in a country, and it's to store database of information. So here you can talk about Why do you need a database server and how does it work? I have these three different websites here. Database server here, there you go. Okay, I like this one because it's very simple, very short, and the description is very clear, and it uses technical terms which you can use and incorporate these technical terms into your writing in your presentation. It explains what is a database server, or you can do your own research if you wish. Now, a database server, because database contains information, therefore the client computer um, will ask the database questions, and then the database will um, find the answer based on the data is stored on the database server, and give the answer, give a response to the client computer. Now, this question we use SQL. It's called Standard Query Language. The common one is MySQL, as you can see here. MySQL used to query the database server so that the database server will give you answer. Uh, okay, for example, Amazon. You go to my Amazon, you want to buy something, and you wonder whether this is out of stock. So you can query the stock, ask question, click on a link, and then ask whether there's still enough stock for this particular product that you want to buy. So that's how SQL works. Now here another website, how database server works, and this one is quite nice. It just puts it in a bullet point, and so you can look at the diagram, read this bullet point, and describe it. You can describe it in paragraphs or bullet point format. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go into a lot of details, but you need to, at least you need to explain that SQL is the language. SQL language, the query language is used to make query on the database server, where the database server here will serve the answer to the client computers, and you need to describe in a little bit detail how it works. Okay, now the next one is, we finished the software technology. Now is the networking technology. Okay, so here you got the networking technology here. Now we have three items here. You need to describe TCP/IP, ports, and protocols. Now TCP/IP, you have done it in Unit 28, but please don't copy and paste. You probably forget it, so read out from the website what is TCP IP and how it works. Okay, and you know TCP IP is set of rules. It is a set of rules and standard. Now, can you see here what are IP and TCP? And it's a short paragraph for you to read. And it's written in a very simple language. Okay, and here the second website, hosting advice, again it broke down into section with headings: TCP/IP, defining TCP, defining IP, and is also gives you a diagram of how the packages are sent, how TCP breaks the whole packets into many small data packets, travel through the internet, uh, the internet cables and Wi-Fi. And here, the IP protocol is to direct the data packets to the destination computer. And here, all the multiple data packets are resembled. Is exampled by the TCP protocol, and then display on the destination computer for you to see. Okay, so and you need to describe it. Yeah, and here, and the next one is ports. Okay. Now the ports here is it's not the USB ports that we are talking about. USB port on the computer or on any computing devices is like a little hole for you to insert your USB cable. Okay, it's a physical device, physical thing that you can see and touch. But the ports here we are talking about is logical. Logical means you can't really see it, but this port provides a logical access for data, for networking data to be transmitted from one computer to another computer. And there are many different types of data. So they because there are many different type of data, you have data web web page data, HTML document. You also have data such as email, okay, and you have email such as sending email from the computer to an email server, but you also have email that you retrieve from the email server to the client computer. That again is a different data, even though the both are email. One is sending email, one is uh, downloading the email to the client computer. And um, because of all these different data, so therefore they goes into different logical ports. So all this data goes into these ports. The ports provide the logical access to this data to go to enter into the computers to be displayed onto the computers, the client's computers. And by when logical access, uh, it means is built in or written in the software, and most likely this software is the operating system, web server operating system, and client computer operating system, and provide this logical access to these different data. We call it ports. Here I got three different websites and a YouTube video for you to watch. Here. Okay. Now this one, a Steve Internet Guide, is very nice. It's very simple language, and it's provide a diagram explaining to you how the ports work, how the TCP socket works. Okay, and maybe you can watch a YouTube video here if you like. And that's now this one even shorter explanation on the meaning of ports and protocol. Okay, and you need to know the ports. One protocol goes into one port. Now here another website is known as well, is good as well because it gives you a table of different ports number, and different ports number attached to its correspond uh, protocol. For example, a file transfer protocol (FTP) will be in port 21, and port 80 is for hypertext transfer protocol. And remember, I will say email, sending email, SMTP protocol in port 25. Okay, port 25 here. However, when you receive your email, POP, receiving email, post office protocol is in port 110. So can you see sending email, the port is different, 25. Receiving email, the port is 110. Yep, so it's different. Sending email, receiving email. And telnet, remember telnet protocol is to remote control a computer, and it's in port 23. And you can uh, talk about these in your presentation. Now here there's another website. It's only nearly 4 minutes, and I like this website because um, this website talks about many things, many ports and protocol in networking, and it's also use a diagram to illustrate it as well, so that you can understand the meaning of ports and protocol, the relationship between them. Now here, ports can only have up to 65,535 ports. This is the maximum number. Now the port number between 0 to 1023 is to reserve for these protocols. Okay, you can see that the port number here, and port number from 1024 to 49,151 is unregistered. Unregistered, as you can see here. Can you see the unregistered ports? Let me make it bigger for you to see. There you go. There you go, unregistered ports. Okay, and here you have a port number from 49,152 to 65,533. They are the dynamic or private ports. Okay, so you can talk about it now. Here, there's a list, the table with the list of protocol with the associates TCP port number. So you can do that. And the final things here in the networking technology is protocols. So the protocol you are interested in are these: HTTP, FTP, Telnet, SMTP, oh sorry, not PP. This is POP. Post office. Post Office Protocol, IMAP, DNS, and SSH. I have a YouTube tutorial here for you to uh, watch, and that's the YouTube tutorial. It's called Train Signal. Let's see. It starts from the first one here. Train Signal.
Welcome to Train Signal. You're watching
Okay. And it's very good because all the is explained in a very clear language, and all the videos are very short, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, and you have to go through all these videos. It won't take lots of time, and all these video explained
So the first protocol I want to talk to you about is something called
explain the protocol, and also give the port number of this protocol. Can you see SMTP and DNS, domain name?
DNS. It talks about DNS.
Names system, and the port number is 53. Now there's 3 you don't need to mention. This is video 3, 4, and
LDAP
5.
stands for the Lightweight Directory Access.
LDAP, RDP, SMB, because we are only interested in networking technology. Now can you see here LDAP, RDP, and SMB? Okay, you don't need to mention them. You can if you want to, because what we are interested in is the networking technology. So all these 3 you can just ignore them. Okay, you don't need to emphasize them. We just emphasize these networking protocol which are more important. Okay, and relevant to P1. Now the last one is other consideration. When you make an e-commerce system, you have to consider these factors: domain name, multiple registration of domain names, the programming requirement, download speed of the web server, the browser compatibility, and the platform compatibility. Now you know what the domain name is from Unit 28, but you still need to answer this question. Okay, and I have I have website here. Can you see this website is very nice, simple to understand, and all the writing is all spaced out. Web beginner, how domain name. Web beginner, it says here, look, what is a domain name? How domain name work? Can you see what is a domain name? How domain name actually works? And here it works like this. Here is your laptop typing the web address, and then straight away it will send it to the DNS server, domain name server, to look for the IP address of the web server that store the web page, these your requested web pages. And if it's not in the first DNS server, you go to the second DNS server and the third and the fourth until you find the IP address, okay, of the web server that store this website, your requested website. And then the information will go back to your laptop. Tell your laptop the IP address is this 70.42.251.42. And that's with this IP address, you go straight to the web server that store the relevant web pages, and the web server will deliver the web pages back onto your laptop computer. So you need to describe how the serving the web pages work. Now the domain name, different from a website and web hosting, and different type of domain name, you should describe that. Okay, who is responsible to register domain name? It's a registrar, the domain name registrar. They're responsible to record all the domain name that's already taken by different people and different company, so that they are not taken anymore by other companies. So that in this way, it makes each domain name unique, just like the database primary key. Okay. Now the second thing you need to talk about is multiple registration domains. So explain the meaning of multiple domain name registration and talk about the benefits and drawbacks. Okay. If you look at Amazon here, I got Amazon here. The domain name is Amazon.com. Okay, so which is an uh, international company, being.com. And however, here I also have Amazon.co.uk, which is Amazon being a UK company, as well as is a commercial company all around the world. But Amazon is also a company in UK. I'm sure there's Amazon.co.au as well. So Amazon being a company in Australia. SG company in Singapore. Why do you need multiple registration? Uh, Now here you give you some reason why. Stop Stopping competitor strategy. You can redirect the other domains into the one main site. Opportunity with geolocation. Can you see .au, .co.au, .co.uk, .co.sg? Improve your ranking in your search engine, enhance your brand identity. You stop other people and caching on your domain name. These are some of the benefits, and maybe you may research the drawbacks of having multiple domain name registration. Yep. Now and then the next one is um, programming requirement. Okay, you have to talk about the programming languages available for the web server uh, processing. Now, be careful. The programming languages we are talking about here is for web server side, not the client side. Yep. So I have two web pages here, and here you will see here. Now let's go to here. Right. Okay. Here, server side programming and client side programming. Here, server side programming, the server will use these languages to do all this. Okay, and I must say PHP is used for processing database server. Now you will have to find out and say in brief what C Sharp, Java, Python, and Ruby can do for the web server. and you don't need to mention this. That makes sense that these languages are on the client side: CSS, HTML, VB script, and JavaScript. But you don't need to mention it because it's on the client side. Because we are concerned with web e-commerce system, therefore we only concerned with web server. So you can just talk about this. Now, why do we to need different programming languages for the web server to process? Now, if your website is a static site, that means it's a very simple web page with text only and maybe images, then perhaps you don't need programming languages to process your website. You When the client requests make a request to the web server for your website, the web server can just uh, uh, respond the request by loading up the HTML document and image document. However, if your website is very dynamic, your website contain video, contain sound file, contain interactive element, contain form to input data for user to input data, and contain the database server, like just like the Amazon, a huge website that contain database server, and sometimes the user, the client, need to query the database, and the database server need to respond to the clients. So this make your website dynamic, and in that case the web server will need to have different programming languages to make uh, process the requests here. Okay, then only the web server can respond to the client's request. That's the reason why it needs all these different programming languages to do different things. Java, Ruby, Python. Yeah. So you need to uh, describe it. So there you go. Okay. And another thing you need to think about is your website download speed. Again, I said the website downloading speed is on the server side. I'm not talking about the client side. If at home you have a slow broadband, very very slow broadband, you cannot blame on the web page being slow. That is because you have very slow broadband, and it makes you slow to download the web pages. Okay, but this download speed is concerning the web server speed. Web server also have the broadband bandwidth issue as well. So describe some factors that affect the server side download speed. Okay, maybe right. Okay, here factors that affect website speed, connection speed. This is the user server. If you have a bad server hosting, then you can run into problems. Okay, maybe your website have too many videos and sound, and they are not in MP4 format, MP3 format, which is a compressed file format, making the sound file and video file smaller. So you can maybe think about compress the different file type which has larger file size, compress it into smaller file type that have smaller file size. Okay, plugin, if you have too many plugin onto your uh, e-commerce com, e-commerce website, plugin to do something, to listen to music or video, it may slow down your website. Okay, now, okay, so right now, here, browser compatibility. Now your e-commerce website need to display on many different browsers, so that many you can have a wide range of audience to browse your e-commerce website. So explain why having website that are compatible with browser are important. So this is important. You wish your e-commerce website can be displayed on Google Chrome, um, Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox. So therefore, give example of browser that can display most website here, most e-commerce website. I have this. Oh no, not this. I have these three websites. Let's go to them. Mm, Right, factors that affect the website speeds. Okay, there's five. Okay, you use too much JavaScript, bad server hosting, too many plugin. Okay, now here, okay, browser compatibility. What is it? Why is it important and how it works? And browser compatibility. Okay, read it and then you can describe it and then you can talk about it. And here the last thing is platform compatibility. That means your e-commerce website should be able to display on many different type of operating system. That means platform. That means different type of machine. You can display on PC that's running video, Apple Mac that's running Apple Mac OS, display on mobile phone, Android, iPhone, and iPad, tablet, and PDA, personal digital assistant, and describe how you can create a website that are compatible with most platform. Here I have two links here. Let's go back to here. Oh, okay, supported browser and platform. All right, there you go. There's different browser for different operating system. Google Chrome can can be used on Windows and Apple Mac and Android, and Safari can only use on Apple Macs. Microsoft Internet Explorer and Edge and Microsoft Firefox can be used on Windows. And I must say, Mozilla Firefox can also be used on Apple Macs computers as well. Okay, here, okay, platform, cross-platform. Cross-platform compatible means that your website works on all these different um, computing devices, tablet, smartphone, laptop, and computers. Okay, and uh, here, how it works. Practice for web design in a multi-browser, multi-platform digital universe. Okay, here it just says how you can set the screen size of your website so that your website can alter, can be displayed on different devices that have different screen size. PC monitor has a different screen size, Apple Mac, and then you have tablets, there's a different screen size, and then mobile phone, there's also different screen size. So if your browser uh, can be adjusted to display on different screen size, then it can load onto the different computing devices that has different platform. Okay, um, let's go back. Right. Okay, we finish. We finish. Stop recording.